Now, we've been talking about rubbish getting out of control with more than 1 million illegal fly tipping incidents reported in England last year. Still with me in the studio is Philip Ingram, but joining us on the line is Pat Smith, an environmental campaigner known rather wonderfully as Action Nan. Hello, Action Nan, Pat Smith.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Oh, late night last night after all our action. I like that. Pat, lovely to talk to you. I've got to be honest with you, I whinge on and moan on about, rubbish and fly tipping in our street. I don't understand why people want to live in a nice street and just leave, an old mattress there that no one's going to take in the rain. People do this in towns and cities across the country. They also take stuff. Sometimes we think organised businessmen in business do this, take stuff and dump it in beauty spots. Why is the problem getting worse and what do we do about it?
Well, I don't understand why the problem's getting worse because all of our council tips, dumps, waste collection have sites in every town where you can take the rubbish and you can take it and gets taken away, gets dealt with properly. I know there is a charge and that's probably an issue.
I think that's the issue, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't understand really because the issue for the council to go and send 2 men and a lorry to go and pick it up out of a lay-by, I'm sure it's much, much more sensible if they actually said, look, we welcome you taking the trouble to come and bring it here and we won't charge you for it. I think that would probably be the best answer as far as I'm concerned on fly tipping.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, my local council, again, you've got a fridge, you've got something like that, they'll take it away for 20 quid. I imagine, doing the admin on that costs probably more than that. And you want to disincentivise people from just throwing stuff out, and a lot of builders will use it, but a lot of people say that you can't go to a dump if you've got a builder's van. It has to be, even if you live in that borough, you're not allowed to do it. They make all these rules up. But also, I mean, I know you go out and about in the countryside and, you find the roads that are covered in the fly tipping and actually notify the council because they don't even bother looking for it.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know how they get to find it unless people like me ring them up and say, but I kind of feel like a bit of a vigilante at times because when I'm driving along and I see it, luckily I've got a very good relationship with my local councillor. And all I do is I just email him and say it was in X, Y, or Z gateway on such and such a road. And then he immediately sends someone out for me. Yeah. And it works really well. But you've got to be proactive, find these people, get a relationship with them and say, and I know there's a lot of older people like me who are doing this. And the real problem that I see, and I've just seen your sign saying we are watching, you will be prosecuted, but it's exactly the same as litter dropping anywhere, out of cars, along the street. There are so few fines. Yes. People are saying, oh, increase the fines. But unless you've got hard evidence and someone is there with a camera taking pictures of the people with their number plate, then you will never have hard evidence.
And then we have situations where someone, you're pulling something out of their pocket and a tissue falls out and they don't realise, they're not deliberate. Yes, there's still litter, but they've not deliberately done it. And they get fined and then it's all over social media and everyone gets an uproar. We don't want jobs worse, but we do want our neighbourhoods and our countryside to look nice. I certainly, if I walk along my street and I see a bit of rubbish that's been dumped, I will just pick it up myself and just put it into someone's waste bin as I walk along. Because I know if I leave that piece of rubbish, by the time I, come back a few hours later, there'll be 3 bits of rubbish because people go, well, there's already rubbish, so it doesn't matter. And it's really important, isn't it? If you don't just say, well, just live like that from now on, because most people don't want to live like that.
No, and I'm afraid, Julia, you are really in the minority because it doesn't happen. Most people don't think it's their responsibility. They think, people say to me, why are you picking up? It's the council's job. Why are you doing it? And I'm saying, you have a choice. Do you want your money to be spent on the NHS and proper care for everyone from the council? Or do you want them to spend money picking up the litter which you and I could pick up?
Absolutely.
It's a kind of, what we seem to have lost is a sense of community and responsibility and
that's
caring.
why people do it in the first place, because they don't care. It's like, I don't care, even if it's their own street. They just don't care, and they think it's someone else's job to pick up after them. I blame the parents. I tell you what, if my daughter was ever caught throwing litter, I mean, I don't think she'd be brave enough to come home. I'm serious about that.
I'm old school like you. And also I think the children these days, they so learn by what your parents do.
Exactly.
And I think generally there's this lack of parenting in general, just not teaching your children.
Philip and I are nodding along with you.
Yeah.
Pat Smith, Action Nan, we love you. The nation loves you. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Philip Ingram, you were nodding along to all of that.
Oh, very much so. And, you know, I'm slightly further to the right in dealing with it. I think, you know, to bring community service in, people who are getting benefits and bits and pieces, you're going out and helping the local community by collecting litter.
Clearing it up. And also, we need a bit more finger wagging at people. Philip, it's been such a pleasure having your company today. Thank you very much. And to Action Now.